some time now, particularly here in my country, Nigeria, and in some other parts of the world. And it's no other trend or act of what? Scamming, the scamming system, the fraudulent system that is particularized to the youth of this generation, the Gen Zs, the male and the female of this generation. And I see that most people are not coming out on their platform to raise their voices to talk about it. On daily basis, people are being scammed, people are being duped, people are being robbed of their resources, their hard-earned money, and people act as though it is a norm or it is not a big deal. And when you tend to look at this thing, you will begin to ask, where do this whole thing start from? That's one thing we are going to look at. The origin, the beginning, where this whole fraud, scamming, aka Yahoo, and now the way they term it, pressing, where did it start from? We're going to look at it. We're going to look at the major causes or possible causes that actually leads or would have made so many of our youth toe the line of scamming and defrauding people. Then at the end of the day, we will actually look at possible solutions on how to curb, on how to manage, and also put a stop to this act, because it is a very painful thing to see that you work hard for your money. At the end of the day, you are being robbed of it, all in the name of pressing. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, scamming people, which is stealing by tricks, is actually a crime. It is all shades of wrong. There is nothing encouraging and good about it. Hey guys, welcome back. This is the face behind the brand Chivicinspirations that you have actually been listening to. And yes, this is me, Chivicinspirations. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, because I know I have a lot of new, amazing and beautiful subscribers right here on this space, and I feel like, okay, most of you have been asking to see my face and hear from me, watch me talk like a human being that I am, and that's why I'm making this video showing my face and addressing this topic today. So feel free to join this family as you hit on that subscribe button. As well, turn on the post notification bell next to it so that you will always be the first to get notified. I'm glad and happy to be here looking at you all, watching me talk. If you know you're happy to see my face for a very long time, let me see you hit the like button, like this video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share this video as well, because I know that this message we're about to talk about needs to get across to so many people that needs to see it and listen, whether they like it or not. Disclaimer here, if you know that today's topic is not going to sit well with you and you are not comfortable listening and hearing what I have to say, please kindly click out of this video. I would not personally want to go to anybody's channel watching their video to drop any disrespectful comments to disrespect them, because that is their channel. If you feel like what I'm saying, you're not convenient and comfortable with it, create your channel. If you don't have, or if you have, go back to your channel and debunk it, right, or counter it. But this is my space, and I want to tell you that I have 100% right to talk about things that bothers me, that I don't sit comfortable with, things that are very important for us as Nigerians, as citizens of various countries to talk about, right? So I needed to clear this out as a public service announcement, because if you stubbornly come to my comment section to drop any nonsense, useless, quick comment, I will not just delete your comment, I will as well block you and delete your comment. So quickly, let's look at the history of scamming and defrauding people of their valuable, their wealth and their resources, particularly money. You know, back in the 70s and 80s, it was usually called 419. It was usually called 419 that actually went through different kind of tactics and pattern of, maybe sometime when you bought a vehicle, you think the people in the vehicle are passengers just like you, only for you to find out that along the line they come up with different kind of talks and words to sometimes hypnotize you, make you lose your senses and your consciousness, and at the end of the day they proceed by defrauding you, taking away all your belongings at the moment, even taking away your money. Sometimes they go as far as making you even go back home to get the money that you have in your account or in the house, because back then banking was not a very common thing, right? Then along the line, that tactics was actually detected and taken note of by so many people. They discovered that system, and these same scammers at the end of the day graduated into what we call the Yahoo back then in the 90s and in the 20s, right? We see these people on Facebook, we see these people on social media like Facebook back then when Facebook was just starting off. We see them on To Go back then when To Go was a thing, if you can remember. They graduated and elevated into social media where they know that so many people are social media users and they can easily scale through by defrauding them, scamming them, by hacking their accounts, yes, then impersonating their accounts, going through that account to defraud other people, other friends in that account of their money and so many other things. They have different means of scamming people back then in the 90s and in the early 20s. And it didn't just stop there. Currently, as the world is evolving, as things are changing, they have graduated and elevated it into what we call the Yahoo Plus. Now they even fine-tune it as pressing. They fine-tune it as pressing, which is also the same as scamming and fraud. These young boys and girls of the generation have deteriorated into the point that they go through different means of using charms. Once they chat you up on social media and you respond, you are captured by their charms. I have been a witness of this whole incident back then in 2020. I have my own story and share of it, which I'm going to tell on a separate video. And now, at the end of the day, they defraud you of your money. This is what they do to most people from other countries. Right from here in Nigeria, they access the internet. They can break through every possible means of defrauding people of their money. This is what they do. We all know and see these things happening. Most of our Nigerian youth who travel outside Nigeria go there not just to work legitimately. They go there to, equip themselves and indulge solely on this act of scamming and fraud. I can make an example of one of our Nigerian called Hush Puppy. We saw how Hush Puppy lived a flamboyant life. We saw how Hush Puppy, spent money on expensive, luxurious things. And at the end of the day, he was in Nigeria scamming people. He didn't just end it. We all know how that story went. He had to, migrate down to Dubai, where the Dubai police system and the American police system, put an eye on him until they traced him and tracked him down. And today we see that Hush Puppy is been serving jail terms in the US under their police custody, under their prison and detention. They wouldn't have been able to track Hush Puppy if he was actually in Nigeria, because tell me, what is the system of Nigerian security and police force? What is the system here? It is next to none. If I talk, it seems as though maybe I am exposing things, but this is what it is, and we have to say it as it is. Now, looking at the factors that would or definitely is leading to all these things is one, lack of proper parenting and upbringing. We see a lot of parents today do not even know their left from their right. Most of them go as far as having children, so many children that they know that financially, mentally, physically, they are not capable of catering for them. And they send these children out quite early into the world, into the society, to begin to fend and hustle for themselves without any proper skill, without any proper training. These children have not even known their left from their right. They don't even know how to, be focused and achieve things the right way. Most of these parents are even fraudulent and thieves themselves. That's why I put it that charity begins at home, and it is from what these parents set as an example to their children that their children end up copying. Poor parenting and lack of home training is one big problem that has caused this, rampant act of fraud. As a parent, why having children that that financially you cannot take care of? You bring them into the world to begin to fend for themselves, cater for themselves, and even you as parents, as early as, and not even in the right way. Do these parents actually know that one of the major or basic right of every child is what? The right to cater, the right to shelter, the right to feed, the right to education, the right to religion. As a parent, these are the things you owe these children, or owe any child that you want to legitimately or illegitimately bring into this world. So you see that parenting system has really failed a lot of these youth, that has made them go into what they are doing today. And at the end of the day, it saddens my heart that you see these parents applauding these children. In fact, clapping for these children, hailing them, praying for them that they should continue in that path. An act of scamming people and defrauding people. Because what happens, these children go out, scam people, defraud people, and bring the money for them, buy luxurious car, live flamboyant life, live a very reckless and careless life, spend the money back in happiness, in joy that their children are doing well, without questioning the children to find out how they get the money. What do they do for a living? And at the end of the day, I will not want to also dispute the fact that there are no legitimate youth today, there are a lot of them who are into content creation, who are into so many things that are legit and making good money for themselves. These are the good examples we have in Nigeria. But on the other hand, we have people that have purposed in their hearts, dedicated it upon themselves. In fact, they don't even see it as any crime. They don't even see it as anything wrong in what? Going through that phase and that path of what? Scamming and defrauding. And you see some parents too come out boldly to say, my child is pressing, my child is pressing. I am sorry to tell you that of recent time, I ran into one parent that was boldly and openly talking about how the child is into scamming and frauding and he's doing well. He's the one catering for the family's responsibility. And I was like, what? And that gave me a very big question mark. Because at the end of the day, I fear for what's going to be the fate currently of the next generation that are here and the ones to come, if nothing is being done to stop and address this whole thing. And I see people go about their daily life as though this thing doesn't care. Is it because it hasn't happened to you, then you think it is a norm? If you as a parent that is supporting, or a sibling that is supporting any of your brother or sister in this act is being scammed and robbed of all your life savings, your hard-earned money, tell me, how will you feel? Or because it hasn't happened to you? And you will say, yes, it is because of the bad government. It is because of the bad leadership. It is because of the people we have in government. Then the country is bad. The country is bad, and you are also adding more salt to the injury by this act you people exhibit in this country and outside this country as citizens of Nigeria. To think of the list, this set of people doing this thing are the people that are bringing bad name and reputation to this country, Nigeria. You go abroad, overseas, you see them constantly disgracing and embarrassing not just their family, but the name Nigeria. And when we talk, it looks as if maybe we just want to talk. Now, make it make sense that it is a good thing. And if you are part of these people we are addressing today, before you leave that careless comment in the comment section, be warned that there's a road that seems right onto you right now, right? But the end of it will be destruction. Now, moving on to the next factors that would be part of what is contributing to it is what? We have peer pressure, we have greed, and quest for more. Peer pressure in the sense that you see so many youths want to be like other person without minding how they get their money. There's competition, unhealthy competition, because A has, robbed and duped people of their money, and he's bought cars, he's bought those flashy things, and he's using, and you want to be like that person. And if you are not doing the same thing as that person, you are being tagged as you're not updated, you're not inclined, you're not, useful in the society. You see these people when they get to club, how they pop drinks worth millions, worth thousands of naira, and in dollars. Then at the end of the day, the pressure to join them and begin to act and behave like them befalls other children. And that is where I want to even come in by acting and putting it to every parent out there that you should be careful and mindful of what your children do, the people they follow, and the company they keep. Constantly talking to them, constantly addressing them, constantly putting it to them that this is the kind of life they need to live. Quite different from what others are living. This is the right way to make money, quite different from the wrong path others are going. It will help a lot in curving, in stopping and reducing this act of fraud and scamming in the system today that is polluting the country and polluting the system. Most Nigerian youth are not even content with what they have. They want more. They want more. Then it lures them into what we even call not just scamming, kidnapping, rituals, killing or butchering their fellow human being for what? Money. Then at the end of the day, this is a society we say is doing well and is doing better. And now the major factor that I would say that is actually missing in all this we have talked about, and which is the number one, is what? The God factor. You see, in any home or any family that the God factor is not present there tends to be issues like this. Because tell me, when God is not the foundation of a home, these children grow up without the fear of God, without good Bible principles and commandments. In fact, in today's world, when you talk about God, it is like a strange thing. It sounds so weird to so many people, because why not? When these so-called pastors and churches that are supposed to be aiding in cropping out all this evil, all this mishap, all this crime in the society, they are the ones that are encouraging. You see them most times pray for these Yahoo boys, these scammers in the church, because they donate large sum of money as offering to them. You see them clapping, praying for them, blessing them the more. Like, at the end of the day, where do these people even find and seek help from when the church somehow in Nigeria particularly is failing? And even the churches that are even trying to preach the word, preach the truth, people tend to shy away from those churches. They don't want to listen. But at the end of the day, when you look at on the other hand, you see that the safety and the security system, which is the police force and the EFCC Economic Commission for Crime, are not even, putting more effort, enough effort in apprehending these people, in bringing them to book and jailing them. At the end of the day, the ones that we see that they apprehend, that they expose, what happens? We don't hear anything. How the story ends, we don't know. And this thing keeps happening. And you will take it as a joke because it hasn't happened to you yet. Everything happening in your country or in my country as a Nigerian is actually a thing until it happens to you. And I will say to you as a Nigerian, you pray that Nigeria should not happen to you. Pray that kidnapping should not come to your dwelling because you will see the other side of life. Pray that these people do not rob you of your hard-earned money so that you will know how it feels. You can run your mouth and talk and say anything you like in defense of the evil and the crime going on in this country because it hasn't happened to you. Wait until it happens to you or your parents or your siblings or any of your loved ones. Then you will understand better. Now, in conclusion, I want to say this. If you're listening to me and you know that, you are part of these people we are talking about, or you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that is into this act and it is now a norm, it is being normalized by you people, I want to tell you today for free that at the end of the day, no matter what you do in quest for money and you get this money, remember that vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. Everything you acquire, no matter the amount of luxury you have, name it cars, houses, designers clothes, the kind of life you live, everything ends at that point when you close your eye in death. And also remember that the wages of sin, according to the Bible that you and I read, is what? Death. The end point of you and I, everybody's death. I know that most of you have sold your soul to the devil, and you will boldly come out to say, yes, all death is death. Man must die. That's what I hear these people say. All death is death. I rather make the money and die than not making the money and die wretched. How dare you rob people of their hard-earned money and it is a norm to you? You sleep very well in the night when you see people cry and shed tears out of the pain you caused for them. I am putting it to you today. All you pressers, all you scammers, all you Yahoo people, and your parents, and your co-hosts, I am putting it to you all that enough is enough. Stop disgracing this country. Stop bringing bad reputation and impression on this country, Nigeria. You people are part of the problem we have. We are talking of our leaders. The actions and inactions you put up on daily basis, both when you go to other countries, disgracing and constituting nuisance there, is affecting the reputation and integrity of this country. Enough is enough. And that's why all of you are too quick to sharpen your mouth and talk because you don't like the truth. But let me tell you one thing, the truth will always be told, whether you like it or not. And continue, whether you like it or not, someday you will meet your doom. And when you go there, in the great beyond, you're going to give account of the life you live. This is my message to you. And I feel like people are not talking more about this. It's high time we begin to address these things. And if you think you have the right to come here to shut us up or shut anyone up that is doing the right thing or using their channel to talk and expose this evil you people are committing, then be ready to face the consequences. God is going to expose all of you. I just pray and put it to the police, every force in charge of apprehending and capturing you people and bringing you to book happens to you very soon. Because enough is enough. One of you or any of you would have had an experience or not, or a story from a loved one or family member in one way or the other. I know that we all are aware of this. I need you right now in the comment section to share your own experience or your own opinion, whatever you think you know about these things, and let's have this conversation there. We need to be addressing these things. We need to put a stop to all these things. Right there in the comment section, let me know what you think about this act of fraud, this act of pressing, this act of Yahoo, or whatever they call it. What does it mean to you? How do you perceive it? How do you take it? Because you see here on this space, from now henceforth, we'll be exposing some of all these things that are going wrong in the country and adding to the problem of the country. So that time to time, these people will be brought to check, they'll be brought to book. So with this, I will say we've come to the end of this episode. If you've stayed up till now, I want to say a very massive thank you to you for staying through to this point. And if this is your first time here, hi, this is Chivicinspirations, and here on this channel we say it as it is without minding whose ought is God, not to demean, not to spite, not to bring you low, but to motivate, inspire, and captivate not just your spirit, your soul, and your body. So click on that subscribe button to stay glued as always, and remember to always be happy, safe, and blessed out there till I come up here on this space. But for now, this is me, Chivicinspirations, signing out. Do have a lovely day. Bye guys.